sentiments mean to me. I want to thank all those who have participated this morning. I want to thank the Reverend for that prayer, acknowledging our dependence upon God and our reliance upon Him for guidance and strength and leadership in the future. I want to thank the Sergeant. I want to thank Joe Ripia, who re-upped, as I recall, at the age of 59. I want to thank Major Clapper, and especially General Livingston. We are, of course, talking today about our South Carolina veteran leadership. We're also talking about and introducing part of our national veteran leadership. I simply have to say at the outset that I am not only honored, but I am humbled to be in the presence of these men. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies, for all that you've done for your country and all that you continue to do for your country. I hope that everyone at some time, especially in South Carolina, has the opportunity to read the factual background as to why General Livingston was a recipient of the Medal of Honor. It boggles one's mind. He is one of those who lived to come back and be among us, thankfully. But what he did for his country while wounded in action is the very, very best of America. And I'm just honored and humbled that he is supporting me. I'm honored by our veterans across the country who have seen fit to support me and to support my candidacy. I know it's not just because of me. Many of them I don't know personally. I've had the chance to get acquainted with the gentlemen and others, and Joe and Major Clapper, but many others I haven't personally. But I hope that they know from what I say that I'm the same person I've always been. My record is clear. I had the opportunity to step forth and quit doing some things that were kind of enjoyable and fun in private life a few years ago and served in the United States Senate for 8 years. I'm the same guy today that I was then. I'll be the same guy tomorrow that I am today. That's one thing I can assure you of. And that is a person who stands strong for the things that he believes in. And I hope that you can tell from this campaign so forth that it doesn't matter what forum I'm in, it doesn't matter what state I'm talking in, or whose television show that I'm on. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but what you see is what you get. And I think America in these days and years ahead are going to be facing unprecedented challenges. And the main thing we got to have, and we don't have much of these days in Washington, D.C., is credibility. So when any leader comes before the nation and says, here's the deal, here's the problem, here's what we need to do, now let's get it on like we've done so many times before together. Remember that we have so much in common, so many more things in common that divide us. We can do it, we can come out stronger and better. When a leader says that, the American people need to say, yep, that's right. That's the direction we need to go in. That's my ultimate goal, and that's what this campaign is all about. We are privileged to live in the greatest nation in the history of the world. We're the most prosperous, we're the strongest, and we're the freest. It is vitally important that we remember how we got that way. And a large part of the way we got that way is standing behind me today and all across America, and those people who have sacrificed for their country. It allows me and people like me to point out that we live in a country that sacrificed more blood for the freedom of other people than any other combination of countries in our nation's history. And I get a little tired, and some folks on the other side feel the need to apologize for the United States of America. I don't feel that need.
Right on.
Never
Right.
Because our people have always known that freedom depends upon it. Freedom depends upon people who are willing to step forward, like our veterans across across this country have done for so many years in the history of this country, because they remind us, their very presence reminds us that freedom is not free. And today we face new threats. Every generation has its challenges. But today we have new threats from a new kind of enemy that's difficult to understand, with a different kind of zealotry and commitment to our destruction that we really have never seen before, with new kinds of weaponry and potential weaponry that we have not seen before, with the worst people in the world bent on our destruction, trying so hard to get their hands on the worst possible weaponry in the world, where a small amount of the wrong kind of material in the wrong kind of hands can wreak havoc on an American city. And we live in a nation of open borders. It does not make sense, and it cannot stand, and it cannot remain. There are many things that we need to do in terms of our military, in terms of the things that we need at home, in terms of rebuilding our intelligence. But the main thing we need comes from inside of all of us. The author, Andrew Roberts, pointed out recently in a recent book, he said, in any conflict, the will of the people to prevail is at least as important as their military might. And we need to remember that as we're challenged. We need to remember that as the whole world watches us, friend and foe alike, to determine what our resolve is, to determine whether we have the will, whether we have the enemy to do what's necessary to prevail when the chips are down. The people who are fighting our battles understand this. You talk to them. You know, a couple of my strongest advisors and myself are couples who are friends of my wife Jerry and me, who we talk to because they've got kids in Iraq right now who have re-upped, some occasions more than once. One young woman, and two young men. We have a chance to talk to them every once in a while. We have a chance to talk to the parents more than every once in a while. And it's unfortunate and strange to me that so often the average 20-year-old serving his country or her country in Iraq has a better understanding of what's in our national security interest than many of the 20-year veterans of politics in Washington, D.C. We are steeped in the tradition of honor and sacrifice for the greater good in this country. I had the privilege not too long ago to drop by Walter Reed. I walked into the rehab place there with a young man there with a big smile on his face. He was working with those who were working with him. He was trying out his new legs. He was joking with them. He was engaging. I eventually worked my way over there and talked to him. Very articulate young man, and of course what do you say? Well, I said, young man, this is the United States of America. You know that you can do anything that you want to do. What do you want? He said to me, he said, I've been talking to this nonprofit group, and I'm thinking about going with him. They're doing a lot of good things. And I'm thinking about hooking up with them. And then he looked at me without any sense of irony and says, I just think it's time I gave something back. What a great nation we must be to keep producing people like that, because it's all about giving back to each other. And I assure you, the foremost in my mind of all the duties that I aspire to take on, that making sure the sacrifices of people like that and their families do not go in vain. And that we do the right thing by them, not only while they're serving their country abroad, but when they come home and need our help, maybe for the rest of their lives. Now, I appreciate these endorsements. They are from the people I want the most in terms of my support, but it is about something much bigger than this. It's about our country, and it's about our moving forward together. to try to bring our people together to do the right thing and to remain strong and to remain prosperous and to be unified in the face of adversity. My friends, I think together we can do some really good things for the United States of America. Thank you all for being here.
Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, thank you for being part of this today. What a great day, great remarks. This truly is becoming and is Fred Thompson country. We look forward to welcoming our next President of the United States, Senator Fred Thompson.